You wake up to a bill that's twice as high as it needed to be, because you batched an overnight coding job on the wrong model. Fable 5 is Anthropic's current flagship model, and GPT 5.5 is OpenAI's answer to it. And on paper, the two look close enough to call a coin flip. They're not. I've spent enough time inside both of these APIs this month to know the spec sheets don't tell you where the real gap is. Test 1, cost. Batch a big coding job overnight on the wrong model and you don't find out until the bill lands the next morning. By then, it's too late to switch anything. This one goes to GPT 5.5 and it's not close. Official vendor pricing pages put GPT 5.5 at $5 for every million input tokens and $30 for every million output tokens, while Fable 5 charges roughly double on both ends, $10 in and $50 out. That double the price figure comes from two independent trackers, not a number pulled straight off Anthropic's own page. Berkeley's agents last exam ran both models through a real coding suite using Codex and Claude Code, and the same gap showed up again, this time as a community-reported result rather than a vendor claim. Two independent readings pointing the same direction is not a coincidence. Drop a comment if that token bill gap matches what you've seen running your own jobs, because Test 2 is about to complicate this story fast, so the scoreboard opens 1-0, GPT 5.5. My name is Brian, and I'm in these tools 12 hours a day so you don't have to be. Test 2, coding benchmarks. Picking the cheaper model can backfire hard right here. Ship code from the weaker coder and it comes back from review full of holes, or it just plain can't crack the harder tickets at all. This test flips the scoreboard because Fable 5 wins it clean. On the IndependentVals.ai leaderboard, which Anthropic doesn't control, Fable 5 leads the entire field of over 100 tracked models. That's a 95% score on SWE Bench verified. On the harder SWE Bench Pro benchmark, Anthropic's own system card claims Fable 5 above 80% against GPT 5.5, which lands in the high 50s to high 60s. Independent testers using neutral scaffolding narrow that gap. Treat the exact size of it as directional, not settled. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Across 8 tracked coding benchmarks, Fable 5 leads by an average of almost 12 points. The one clean tie in this whole test has both models landing at exactly 70% on the deep RWE task. That ties the scoreboard back up, 1 apiece, but a coding win means nothing if the model can't keep up. Test 3, speed. A slow model doesn't just cost you patience. Put it into a live product, and users sit there staring at a spinner, or your overnight batch job blows past the window you gave it. GPT 5.5 takes this one back. Artificial Analysis, an independent measurement firm, clocks GPT 5.5 above average for its tier on output tokens per second. Fable 5 lands below average for its own tier on that same measure. The gap widens even more on time to first token, which is the actual delay you feel before anything at all shows up on the screen. Fable 5 keeps its chain of thought running at all times. That adds roughly 109 seconds before the first output token ever appears. GPT 5.5's Pro tier claims under 200 milliseconds, a vendor claim worth flagging as 1, not an independently measured figure. GPT 5.5 pulls ahead again, 2 wins to 1, and the scoreboard is starting to tell a real story. Stick with me because the last 4 tests are where this decision actually flips. Test 4, context and output limits. Feed a massive codebase or document into a model with a smaller effective window than it advertises, and it starts quietly, dropping details it never tells you about. Both sit at an effective 1 million token window. Fable 5 by default and GPT 5.5 at 1.05 million. Its own reasoning tokens eat into that total, though. Max output is identical too, 128,000 tokens per request either way. GPT 5.5 does pick up one edge. Its published MRCR v2 scores show no reliability collapse, from 500 at 12,000 tokens up to a full million, and Fable 5 has no comparable published figure. Call that directional, not definitive, since the two test setups differ. This one's a genuine tie in the headline numbers. 2 wins to 1 for GPT 5.5, 1 tie on the board, and 1 test left to settle where you're even allowed to run either model. Test 5, Deployment and Modality. Build your whole integration on a model that only lives on one cloud, or one whose data policy your compliance team rejects outright, and you're rebuilding that integration later at the worst possible time. This test ties on the basics. Both models run on every major cloud, AWS, Azure, and Google. Both support the same inputs and outputs too, text and images in, text out, with no audio support on either side. Fable 5 requires 30 days of data retention with no zero retention option, and it runs a safeguard system that can quietly reroute a request to a weaker model without you necessarily noticing. GPT 5.5 has no silent fallback like that. One real edge lands with GPT 5.5 though. Final Scoreboard has GPT 5.5 winning 2 tests outright, Fable 5 winning 1, and 2 tests ending in a tie. Fable 5 is the model that won coding benchmarks outright, and it tied on context, output limits, deployment, and modality. It's the one to reach for when the job in front of you is genuinely hard code, the kind that fails review if the model gets it wrong. It's not the one for cheap or fast work. GPT 5.5 is the model that won cost and speed. It also picked up the tie-breaking edge inside both tied categories, long context reliability on one side, and no silent fallback on the other. For day-to-day, budget-conscious work, that makes it the safer default, the one pick that won't surprise anyone the next time the invoice lands. The actual call depends on the job ahead, not on a leaderboard. If you're running high-volume or budget-sensitive work, pick GPT 5.5, because that price and speed gap compounds fast once you're running real volume instead of a demo. If you're shipping code where the hardest tickets matter more than the bill at the end of the month, pick Fable 5. Coding benchmarks is the one test it won outright, and it won by a wide margin. For most people watching this, the default pick is GPT 5.5. The reason is that its cost and speed advantage compounds on every single job you run for a team watching its budget, not just the one demo you show off in a meeting. One thing the docs don't spell out is that Fable 5's fallback system can silently reroute your request to a weaker sibling model, Opus 4.8. You might not even know it happened. Add the mandatory 30-day retention policy with no way to opt out of it, and you've got a detail that never shows up on the pricing page. That detail can kill a deal in procurement long after the benchmarks already convinced everyone in the room. That silent swap, plus a data policy legal never signed off on, is exactly what surfaces in contract review, not on a benchmark chart. That fallback detail raises one real question. What you actually get when Fable 5 quietly hands off to Opus 4.8 is what I'm covering next. I'm running that exact comparison, Fable 5 versus Opus 4.8, so you can see exactly what you're getting when that handoff happens.